Hey, I am Tyler Price, and I forget this. I am actually a realtor, and that's my day job. And I am terrible at it. I've got a listing, I've been working with people, but I honestly forget. But we aren't here to talk about my real estate endeavors. However, if you need an agent, please, I'm desperate. I'll work for food, quite honestly. That's kind of where I'm at. But I'm thankful for the friends that I am working with. But today I have my buddy, Tanner Stenquist. I've known you for a few years, right? I knew you back when you were in college. I actually coached his little sister in football. She was the first little girl that I had on a team. I've had two now. And I was trying to get her in 6th grade because she was like head and shoulders above everybody in terms of athletic ability. Your mom let her play in 7th grade. And your mom was all, I don't know, I'm really concerned. And then she scores a touchdown, and your mom comes out of the crowd onto the field. Should have been flagged for it. Anyway, but you got a great family.
That's probably not the first or last time that my mom should have received
some penalty for her actions, right?
For her actions at a sporting event.
But today we're talking about the things that Tanner does, and you have, it's a long name, and I'm 55 years old, so it's Intermountain
Development and Construction.
And then you do accounting too, and that's
Crestview Accounting.
And he's my friend. I should know the names of his businesses, but
it's all right.
But let's talk as we start driving about the construction, because you are trying to solve a problem. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
And there's a housing crisis. People want to own homes, but when your starter home has to be $1 million, that's a little difficult. So tell us about kind of the philosophy of what you guys are doing, because you're building cool stuff. I've been through the homes that you built. Great product. So anyway, now I'll shut up and let you talk. How's that?
Yeah, that's fine. So we want to provide affordable single-family housing to the community.
Yeah.
Currently, we've got projects in Blackfoot and Pocatello, focused there, but we're trying to expand and grow our business to be what our name says, the Intermountain West.
Intermountain West.
So right now we currently sit in a price point of about $315 to $420-ish. I think that's probably going to go up to about $450-ish with the next house that we're going to build.
Right.
But we're really trying to focus on first-time and second-time home buyers.
Right.
The other thing that a lot of people do with affordable housing is that they're wanting to do townhomes or condos. And we're trying to stay away from that aspect and really trying to stick with the single-family home.
Okay.
So. Yeah,
and how did you get involved with that?
So, actually, I was thinking about that on the way up.
How did I get involved
this morning? When I got back from my mission, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do, and my parents were like, "Well, you should go and talk to Tyler Price."
First mistake, anyway.
And so you were the one that introduced to me the concept difference between owning your own business and having your own job.
Yes. Yeah.
And I remember it was over at a restaurant right by Walmart, and we had breakfast, and you talked about that the whole time, and I was like, kind of like just went and sat and thought about it for a couple days, because I at that time I wanted to start my own company that was doing like finishing garages,
right?
And we would do custom shelving,
which I think is a great business concept, right? Because I still think that's a solid plan.
It took a seat on the back burner.
Okay, that's okay.
No longer doing that. I think I did one and maybe a half project, and then ended up doing other things. But that was what I wanted to do at that time, and I knew construction was where I always wanted to be. That was kind of the goal, that I was like, I want to be in construction. I didn't know which aspect, but that was how I kind of wanted to get my start. So I always just didn't really think about not being in construction. It was just what I wanted to do. So, and I figured that I could either go and do like work for a framer or work for a concrete guy, which I did for 2 summers, and that was really hard work. Or I could learn the financial side of it and do accounting. And so I went to college and did my undergrad and my master's in accounting, hoping that I could understand the finance side of the business.
How do you make 1 + 1 equal whatever
5.
you want to? Yes.
Or negative 5.
Or negative 5 is what we really like. No, that's good. But then you didn't take the test, right? You didn't get the CPA.
Yeah, so I did my undergrad and my master's. My undergrad up at BYUI, my master's at Idaho State. Went to go work for an accounting firm in their audit department that was based out of DC. Absolutely hated it.
Hated it.
Yep.
I've never heard of anyone that's going down the accounting road say, when I got out and got hired, I loved they all hated it.
It was terrible.
That should be a red flag.
It wasn't terrible. It wasn't for me.
It wasn't for you.
There was a lot of people that I met that were really cool and had really good experiences with the people, and they loved it.
Yeah.
So that's good for them. It just wasn't for me.
Yeah, that's okay.
So, and then during that time when I was doing my master's and that time, I took 2 CPA exams, failed them both.
Good
no
for you.
shame.
Yeah, no. I failed more tests than I passed in my life.
Yeah.
Just so you know. So.
Failed them both, and then I was like, I want to run a construction company. Why do I need my CPA?
Yeah.
Like, I don't. Nobody cares. So then I was like, this is what I want to do. Screw it. And burn the ship, so to say, and was like, we're all in.
I love it. And to that, you know, there's a lot of people out there that want to start a business, but then they work so hard in the business and they don't want to give up control, or they don't want to give up something, right? And so they did, to your previous point, they created a good job. They create a good job for themselves. So what is that shift from being the guy that's building out a garage to becoming the guy that ultimately is running Cruz'n and building honestly cool houses? Because like I said, I've been in the product that you and Dennis have been involved in, right?
Yeah.
So what is that mindset? Because as I ask a question, then I keep talking, right? Because it is, you're part of it is that, man, there's an expense to bringing people on, the quality could go down. So what is the mindset to say, hey, I am going to step back and manage the whole thing and put people to work?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me is that I've been blessed with really good partners.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned, Dennis Adamson is one of my partners.
Yeah, good man.
And we've got a third partner in the construction company. His name's Tim Kometz. He'd probably be mortified if he just knew I just said his name on the internet.
That's hilarious.
But
anyway.
he doesn't have Facebook or anything, so he's not going to see it.
Good for him.
But he's been building houses in the Pocatello area for the past 35 years, and he's really our legacy knowledge of knowing how to build a house and making it nice.
Yeah.
He's built custom, big, just super nice houses for the past 30 years and wanted a little bit of a change in his career. And so the three of us have partnered together. And so I would say, you know, kind of working on your business rather than in your business, whereas also trying to grow and scale your business, it really starts with having really good partners who understand their roles, and be respectful of those roles.
Yeah.
You know, like Tim understands that I am not out there every single day swinging a hammer.
Yeah.
And neither is he. We try to subcontract as much as we can out.
Yeah.
Our team is us three, and then we've got a college intern.
Yeah.
And so we don't have a ton of in-house people that work. We try to sub everything out. But to that point of understanding everyone's got a different role to take, and just because I do the books is no less important than Tim, who actually builds the house.
Yeah.
And those two guys have really helped shape me to grow and understand that.
Yeah. No, and I think that's so key, because when you do form these alliances, partnerships, right, you can't sit there and say what I do is more important than what they do.
Yeah.
Because what, you know, and I've always been in there's 3 lanes in the projects I've worked on, and people are in their lanes. And my philosophy on top of that is, hey, what you do is just as equally as important to me. But my other philosophy is, I can do it or you can do it, but we both can't do it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right?
If everybody's in charge, then nobody's
in charge. Yeah.
So we've done good. I guess 2024 was our first official year as Intermountain Development and Construction. We built somewhere between 25 and 30 houses.
Wow, that's a number.
I said that to somebody, and they were like, I feel like you have an issue answering that question and how many houses you built because of accrual counting. And I was like, yeah, 100%, absolutely. So it's tough to put a number on it because of my accounting brain, but it's somewhere in that number.
But still, I mean, there's guys that muddle through 3 to 7 houses in a year and do really well, right?
Yeah.
But to scale. Like that was one of the things you said. Hey, I want to be able to scale this. So what do you see? Because there's some big players even in Eastern Idaho, your Rockwells and those types of places that they're pumping out houses. Right?
Yeah, they do awesome. Rockwell has a really good model in the fact of how they're able to produce houses at a high level volume.
Yeah. And still give a good quality product in the end, right? Yeah.
I want, our goal is to rival Rockwell.
Yeah,
that's the
They're
goal.
coming for you. They're quaking. They're quaking in their boots right now.
I think the
those are
Johnsons
good
aren't
people.
worried about me, but
I don't know them real well, but those are good people.
They do awesome stuff. But we do want to come for you.
Yeah.
So we want to rival them in terms of volume. I think one year, one of my good buddies works over there, and he told me that they framed like 240 something houses in a year.
Yeah.
Into 23, I think.
And there's probably other framers on top of him, or is that all of Rockwell?
No, like Rockwell themselves framed 200 and some odd, and sold to over 200 houses. You know, and so like, I would love to compete with that. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I recognize that that's not all going to happen in Pocatello. It's not all going to happen in Blackfoot. Rockwell's got a really good hold on the market here, Idaho Falls, Shelley, and whatnot. So it's going to come with some challenges, but I don't know. Why not me?
Yeah, why not you? Oh, I love that. That was back in the day when the Orlando Magic was playing, I think the Lakers for the championship. That was their motto because they were so young. They had Shaq, they had Penny Hardaway, they had all these really young guys. And so their motto during that series, which they ultimately lost, was why not us, why not now?
Yeah.
And I love that saying that they came up with, even though it didn't pan out for them. But
why not?
Why not? But there's enough work, right? It's not like Rockwell cares if you're successful. They want to be successful, and there's plenty of work.
Yeah.
And I've always been someone that likes to get out and know their competitor. I tend to get to know them and become friends with them. Some don't like me, and that's okay. I'm okay with that because we are competitors.
Yeah.
But the ones that I've been able to go out and we'll go to lunch and we'll do it quarterly or we'll do whatever, I just find that we are able to collaborate because the problems I'm having are the problems they're having, and sometimes I have solutions to their problems and sometimes they have solutions to mine.
Yep.
And again, there's enough business, so why don't we try to help each other along the way?
Let's grow together type of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've got the building group in Pocatello is pretty close knit.
Yeah.
So I know a decent amount of the guys down there. They probably don't know me as well as I know them, but that's all right.
Yeah.
So
then you just, you're out there working it, doing the accrual accounting when it comes to the how many number of houses do we actually do, right?
Yeah.
And then you just said, I have all this free time, I might as well start accounting, or is it bookkeeping or is it accounting? What exactly is it?
Yeah, I didn't have enough to do with a 1-year-old at home.
Yeah.
My wife's in nurse practitioner school.
Yeah.
Had one business, so what's another?
What's another? I mean, then it's just you're gonna have a problem where my dad suffered from that, where he just had multiple things.
Yeah,
it's like,
you
dude,
keep going.
why do you know? Anyway,
it's a game.
Boy, I have ADD when it comes to that, though. It's like I don't know where I'm going and what ball I'm chasing. But so speak to what you're doing there for. Who are you serving?
Yeah.
And what are your services?
So the company's name is Crestview Accounting Services. Again, have two really great partners. One of them is Dennis Adamson.
Yeah.
Again, he's just so good I can't get away from him.
Yeah.
And then the other one, her name's Elizabeth Cole.
Okay.
And so we provide bookkeeping and payroll services for small business owners.
Yeah.
One thing that we noticed doing the construction thing is because we subcontract everything out, that there was a lot of business owners who just weren't very good at managing their books, managing their profit, their overhead, whatever it was. And Dennis and I joked about it for a year and a half, and we were just like, we could just provide bookkeeping services to our clients, and there's a chance that we could maybe get the product that we want from them a little bit cheaper because they have a better understanding of their numbers.
Yeah.
And we could get them paid quicker, and they'd be happier.
Oh, isn't cash flow is a big issue, right? But anyways, to cut off your point there, but yeah.
And so we focus on small business owners who are trying to grow. We originally kicked it off as an idea that we were trying to really focus on like our subcontractors in the construction industry.
Right.
I think that's more probably shifted into the type of business owner that we deal with rather than the niche of the industry.
Okay,
if
so
that makes sense.
you're serving different verticals, but
Yeah.
people that are growth minded, but you probably do have some construction guys in the mix. I would assume.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like our construction company is a client of so they have a pretty good our
Yeah.
bookkeeping team has a pretty good understanding of construction.
Yeah.
We've also got a couple other businesses that we have another construction business. We've got a med spa. We've got we're hopefully going to bring on a company here soon that does coffee roasting.
Oh, okay.
Like we've got just a whole bunch of, we're running the gamut, but like I said, like it's not industry focused, it's more of like who is the person behind the business and what are they trying to do.
Yeah.
And if we feel like that's a good fit for us, that they want to grow and we want to grow and we want to make their business better and they do too, that's more important to us than the industry.
Yeah. And my dad was a CPA. He passed in 2020, but that's why
Sorry
I say
to hear
was.
that.
Yeah. But he, brilliant mind. I hate the number side of it, so that's never my responsibility. I'm the marketing guy. I'm the guy in front. I'm the guy that's going to bring the money in so that the accountants actually have a job, right?
Yeah.
So
That's good.
Yeah.
That's well needed.
yeah. Well, and I try to do a good job there. So otherwise they yell at you, right? You get yelled at for two reasons. You have too much money and you don't have enough.
Yeah.
And that's where the big fights happen in small
Exactly.
business. So, and I love small business. I think that we make the world go round. I mean,
Yeah,
they talk
absolutely.
about, hey, we need to attract this company. I mean, even when Costco was trying to come to town, it's just like, no, Costco, well, they wanted a bunch of things. And I hate to bash on Costco. It's just that Sam's Club does such a better job with technology. And I got other issues with Costco, but we won't get into it. But they don't care if I'm bashing them, right? They're still going to do their millions
They're
of
gonna make
dollars.
billions
they're,
and billions,
They're
so
doing
they're
just
all right.
fine, right? But yeah, no, we need the more small business people. And it's interesting though, because there's a lot of those people that are running around and they don't know if they're profitable or not. So being able to come in and get your services, I mean, understanding, hey, you made money this month, or hey, you lost $3,000, you better fix something, right?
Yeah.
Then something can get fixed if you know it.
Yeah, and I mean, we've got clients that run the whole gamut of where they're at in business too. You know, we've got clients that struggle to make payroll happen, and we've got clients that are really flush with cash.
Yeah.
So it's nice because we can see what people are doing to be successful and maybe pull one or two things from them in our own stuff, as well as share that with our other clients and say, hey, we've seen this work and this is what other people are doing. And that's where I think the real value is provided.
Yeah.
The other thing too that you mentioned too is how small businesses are like the lifeblood of the economy. I agree with that, and that was one thing I had an issue with when I was like learning accounting, is that everything that they teach you is financial GAAP.
Yeah.
And not that that's a bad thing, but like 95% of the businesses in America don't operate off of GAAP.
Yeah.
You know, like they should operate on good financial principles, but they're not reporting to shareholders and to the SEC and all this stuff. And so it's a good basis for what we try to provide for our clients, but we don't operate on GAAP.
Yeah.
We usually, everyone's trying to report taxes, and so we report cash basis for a lot of our clients and cash in, cash out type of thing.
Yeah.
So
you've been doing that now for about how long? The firm.
So we officially started in September last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can take on a few more clients and
yeah, we've grown that to be like just about 10 clients right now.
Right.
We've probably got like 6 or 7 proposals out that we're waiting on. So we're trying to figure out how to grow that, just because Elizabeth, she's my one partner in there. I hired her actually to help her with the construction stuff, and then that grew to be bigger, and so then we were just like, hey, this is what we want to do.
Yeah.
Let's have you be part of it. And she was like, sounds good. So she handles basically 95% of the day-to-day stuff, and we've hired an intern, and she works with her, and they work together to get it all done. So we're kind of capped at our workload, so we're trying to figure out how to scale that economically and cost efficiently, but also still be able to provide a really good service.
Yeah, because there's a really good accounting firm in town that I won't mention their name but they're trying to scale from, they're in the I think, $20 to $30 million a year in fee, and they want to be $100 million, right?
Yeah.
So what's your advice to that? Because what does it take? Because to do that, you can't just do it with your current work people. You have to add people, right?
Yeah.
In what you're doing, or in a lot of businesses, that's the case.
I don't know if I have any advice. That's what we're trying to figure out too. Like, and we're just trying to go from 0 to 100,000, right? I think we'll probably do over 100,000 in fees this first year, first full year, right? Which is awesome, and that's great.
That's a win.
But we're trying to get to. We don't really know how big we want that to be.
Yeah.
I really just want to be able to provide good service to our clients.
Now I'm going to chastise you. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Because I do think that there has to be a vision of what do you want that to be, And again, I've always been small business, and I've been in a business that wasn't scalable and spent way too much time there before ultimately selling it. But I do think that there needs to be, and then Mike Tyson's point that he made one time was everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm saying, hey, you guys should really sit down and take a 2 to 3 day retreat type thing and say, what do we want this thing to be? Because if it's just $100,000 a year, hey, we're providing employment and we're providing a great service. But if it is, hey, I want to scale this thing to, whatever the number is, then that now, and understand, then someone's going to come along and buy you at a multiple, right?
Yeah,
that doesn't suck. So,
yeah, we have.
So that's my chastisement. Get a number.
We've talked about it. We just haven't finalized what we.
Yeah, good. All right.
Yeah. So I probably phrased that poorly.
Well, and I was shocked, quite honestly. I was sitting here, really? Between you and Dennis, you guys don't have a vision of where you want to be? I'm pretty sure you do.
We've talked about it. We just haven't been like, this is it, let's go for it.
Yeah, there's been a lot going on. Yeah, because even then, at least for me, and probably not you, but when I have a vision and a plan, I find that the road that I am going down to get there is not the road that takes me there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there has to be pivots along the way. There has to be, a better understanding of things. But
I was just talking to my wife about that.
Yeah.
Like, we got married in 2020, and at the time I was working for a general contractor up here in Idaho Falls. Shout out Brian. He does an awesome job. He's not doing that anymore, but he was really important in my life.
Right.
And I was like, man, I just need to take a pivot and do something else. It was really centered around you're the sum average of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
And I'm a loner, so that was really that's why I have the problems I have, because I'm it, right? Anyway, sorry.
And I was like, I just need to make a change, and so I ended up getting introduced to Dennis, and I worked with him for him at his property management company during my master's, and just really grew from there and was able to do construction and this accounting thing now. And so I look back and I told my wife, I was like, I never thought this is where we'd be in 2025, but man, I'm really happy that I'm here. Yeah. And I can't wait for the things that are coming up. Yeah. No, I'm really happy where I'm at. I'm just not making any money and I'm spending all my money, and it's like at some point I'm going to go broke. So I'll figure out the money. Like the money isn't the deciding factor of why I do things or why most people do things, but it needs to be a byproduct of what we're, it needs to be a byproduct of the value you're providing. Exactly. Right? So yeah. Well, that's cool. And so how do people reach out to you, either for accounting advice or maybe a proposal? And then how do people find your homes as well? Yeah, so you can reach out to me on Facebook, Tanner Stenquist. Just shoot me a message on there. I'm not on Facebook a lot, but I have Messenger, so I see that quite often. The other place is LinkedIn, Tanner Stenquist. You'll see a picture of me right there, and I try to be pretty active on LinkedIn with people. I don't post a lot, but I see a lot of things, and I'm pretty active there. You can find a lot of our homes. They're listed on the MLS. We don't do the listing side of it. So on the construction side, we'll take, our ideal is to take the raw land and then finished with a finished product, whether that's a house or a lot. Yeah. We can do both. Yeah. But they are listed on the MLS in Pocatello, and we don't have one currly for sale in Blackfoot. We've got a pre-sold, and then we've got a spec coming up. I was going to say, because you guys did a project down there, didn't you, that had... In Blackfoot? Yeah. Yeah, so all those are sold out? We did 10 row houses, which are all sold, and then We've done currently we've done 4 single-family houses. 2 are sold and closed. 1 is pre-sold, going to close next month, and then the 3rd one is a spec that'll probably be on mid-April.
Yeah.
And we've got 2 more lots there, and then we'll be done with that project.
Yeah.
So
then you're looking for land.
Yeah, always looking for
somebody
land.
that has land, talk to Tanner.
Yeah, our ideal client customer is a farmer who is not wanting to farm anymore, or son and daughter who maybe inherited the ground that doesn't know what to do with it.
Doesn't want to farm it. Yeah.
And they know that their dad will kill them if they sell it.
Yeah.
He'll probably kill them too if they develop it too, but we're able to provide a better return if you are able to go through the process.
And I know we're winding this down, or at least I'm winding this down, but now I'm going to open up a can of worms. Isn't that interesting? As cities grow, like Idaho Falls grows, because when we moved up here, I could have bought acres at $4,000 an acre, $2,000 to $4,000 an acre, and I was like, oh, well, I need to pick up 20 acres, and now those same acreages are what, 50, 75, 90 sometimes.
Yeah, like you're getting a steal if you can get it in that $20,000 an acre range.
But that's the thing, is farmers love the land, and this is a big reason why you should never fall in love with your business, because the yields that they get off those acres are years of what they would get if they would sell it to a developer. I mean, you're talking decades, right?
Yeah, and they don't, like you talking about selling their land, we don't even have to buy their land. We've got projects where the farmers are investors in the project too. Yeah. And so they're part of it. They hardly put any money into it because their land is worth so much, and I'm not going to say they don't put any money into it. They put some money into it, but we set it up in a way that is pretty creative for hopefully to have very minimal cash out input and have a really nice return for cash output.
Yeah.
So
things you're looking for, clients, you're looking for people to buy homes, you're looking for land, you're looking for investors still, I think.
Absolutely,
right? All of the above. This kid's going places. I mean, I always enjoyed going to lunch with you back. Like, I knew him when he was still living at home and was putting $5 of gas in a car at a time versus filling it up.
Yep, I remember those days.
Yeah, and he's doing pretty good now. So
I just appreciate Tyler so much. He's such a good example to me of hard work and grinding all the time, but also being a friend.
Yeah.
I was talking to Dennis on the way up, and he was like, Tyler Price was like the first person at Covent that I felt like wanted to be my friend. Yeah. And I was like, yes, 100%. Tyler always wants to be your friend. So I appreciate that about you.
Yeah, see, I'm just not that smart to scheme about what do I get from this person. It's easier, hey, this is a fun person to talk to. Let's just shoot the bull about stuff, right?
Yeah.
So, anyway, well, Tanner, I appreciate you. Appreciate your family. Macy, your sister, was always a hilarious, and she was a heck of a football player. I did say her, all right, Macy, the boys are getting fatter now. They're probably gonna, when they go to tackle you now, it's gonna hurt a little more. And she went on to have a pretty good career in basketball. And really could have. I think she could take Caitlin Clark in one-on-one.
I don't know about that. I'm still her big brother, so don't give her too much credit.
Anyway, I'm Tyler. This is Tanner, and appreciate the time that we spent in the bug today, my friend.
Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate it.